on the holes in my shoes. I stick my tongue in the holes in my teeth. I stick expletives in the holes in my thought process when I speak. My friends stick to their guns, they got a bunch in the woods of Vermont till the end times come. But Saturn says he's gonna learn to live as if the world wasn't gonna end, and I admire his strength. So today I'm gonna do my best to drink coffee in the morning and live as if I didn't feel lonely and hopeless and helpless, to save myself for the war where I live. And tonight, when I dream, it will be that the junkies spent all the drug money on community gardens and collective housing, and the punk kids who moved in the ghetto have started meeting their neighbors beside the angry ones with the yards that their friends and their dogs have been euthanasia on. And the anarchists have started filling potholes, collecting garbage to prove we don't need governance to do these things. And I'll wake up burning Times Square as we sing. Throw your hands in the air, 'cause property is robbery. So I dip this pen in arsenic or a song for every president that won't ever get shot in the face. I wrap these strings in plastic explosives, head down to the courthouse. With one cord I level the place. So but hasn't anybody learned? Don't ever trust a man who plays guitar. The day I rob a bank, the first day I'm not lying to you or me about what I believe. If I die, then let my gravestone read rest in peace, funk, 'cause no pulse is no excuse not to dance. If I live, then let my heart be like a beating picket line. No sooner see a corpse than see a stab. Oh, but hasn't anybody learned? The last to make the moves, the first to say the words. The day I rob a bank's the first day of my life as an honest man, an honest man. The day I rob a bank's the first day of my life as an honest man, an honest man. The day I go to jail trying to rob a bank, the day I finally get what I deserve. up. Call my methods madness or call them luck. Do what I got to be able to breathe. If you can quit your job, then you can do a little breathing with me. A fun rock star won't ever change the world, but I can tell you about a couple that changed me. And so tonight, we're gonna fuck shit up. Tonight, we're gonna fuck shit up. Tonight, we're gonna fuck shit up. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I swear that someday I'll tell you without lying, I was born to quit smoking, I was born to quit dying. On that day, not doing heroin will be easy as pissing. On that day, I'll stop talking so much shit about the government, 'cause urine speaks louder than words on a politician or on a prison warden. Urine speaks louder than words. I swear that today I was born to be living, I was born to be singing, I was born to be fighting. But will somebody say, is this resistance or a costume party? Either way, I think black with bandanas is a boring theme. I don't gotta tell ya, crackers are great with amnesia when they wanna forget something like centuries of racism. Say, look at the man on center stage and pay no attention while millions get locked in a cage. Riots break out in Oakland, but urine speaks louder than words on a prison warden or on a BART policeman. Urine speaks louder than words.
New earbud. Like the way these feel. Oh, for fuck's sake. Government wellness farms? Holy shit. RFK is going to get filed with. Suggested creating wellness farms to re-parent those struggling with addiction by growing organic food and taking away screens. It'll be a place for people with ADHD and depression to get off SSRIs and antidepressants as well. Holy shit. He wants to pay for it with money generated through a sales tax on pot. Oh. I was talking to Che about it this afternoon. These cabinet picks are fucking insane. They're insane. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait. Just fall apart already. Just destroy this fucking country. Just go for it, man. Oh. Like, I don't care. I don't care, man. I don't shit. Wreck this bitch. It's gonna be wild, man. Fucking, we got brainworms McGee. We got a dude. The dude who's gonna be in charge of Health and Human Services is missing part of his brain because it got eaten by a brainworm because he probably just eats random roadkill that he finds. Right? Dude's nuts. I mean, the anti-vax thing is the least of the insanity with that guy. Our fucking department, the head of Homeland Security shoots her own fucking dogs. Fucking, and it comes from a state without a fucking border. That's, you know, that's a whole fucking thing. Then you've got the dude who's going to be in charge of, who's going to be the Secretary of Defense, is this tatted up Christian nationalist nut job. The guy who's going to be in charge of, who's basically like our chief law enforcement officer in this country, is a confirmed payer of sex for with minors via Venmo. And he puts that shit in the memo field on Venmo. He's like, "Hey, here's some money for fucking a 17-year-old." Like the our chief diplomat is going to be Marco Rubio. Like, are you kidding me? He has like no personality. That's going to be our chief diplomat. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, and blow. Don't forget the blow. Zippy. That's just a given. Politicians at a party. Why are we mentioning blow? But yes, and blow. And my favorite, not a cabinet position, of course, but we are in a fucked up timeline. But we did get the timeline where Alex Jones's own assets have to assist in the purchase of his own assets so that they can be transferred to the Onion. For those of you who don't know, the Onion didn't just buy InfoWars. That has to get past a couple of checks, so we'll see. But the Onion didn't just buy InfoWars. The Onion had assets that were pledged by the Sandy Hook Victims Family Fund. So Alex Jones's own assets bought Alex Jones's assets for the Onion. That's real shit. So yeah. So Global Tetrahedron Inc. may end up owning it. Cobbled this little thing together. It's occasion. Oh, that is good. That is good. Yeah, that's solid work. Oh, I'm just playing with something. You may end up needing to turn. All right. Just having some. I don't know, man. I don't like the new headphones. Went from Sony to Panasonic. So the Sony ones, just I've had to go through like 3 pairs of those earbuds for Sony over 4 years or something like that. And I was like, fuck it, I'll switch to Panasonic, but I don't like these Panasonic ones. They're one, already irritating me. Don't like how they sit in my ear. 2, I'm getting a degree of feedback that I don't. But that's brilliant. Okay. Why am I getting prompted? Always something, man. All right. Nope, nope, nope. Gonna have to. Nope, it is not fake. It is real. It is real. You're tubing. I'm not paying. Like I've got like studio cans and stuff. If I ever need like quality audio while I'm listening to something, just for like streaming earbuds, I'm not paying more than $10 at all, ever. That's never happening. So I get what I pay for. Hey, Che. We had just we got done looking at Bertuse's artwork, but prior to that we were just riffing on the fucking insane cabinet choices. Yeah, I don't like how these sound. All right, there we go. Turn it down a little bit and see where we end up. The dog killer's banned from 10% of our own state, which are indigenous reservations. They always break on me, like inevitably, like they start sounding like one of them goes quiet. But I use, these, let me try and find them. They're comfortable. They're simple. They're comfortable. Here, this is, they're super cheap, which is explains why they fucking break. But these fit, like they sit really well in my ear, and that stock piece right there is so small that it doesn't actually hit the ridge on your ear. These just nestle, I suppose is the best word. But we'll see. Like I said, these Panasonics, I don't like. There's just long enough of one that it hits your fucking ear right there, and it's already uncomfortable over here. I don't like it. I suppose I could get up, but also I don't like the sound profile on them. The Sonys sound right to me. These do not sound right. So, yeah. So yeah, I don't like over the ear. Not for anything long term, but like I've got DT 770s. So yeah, if I need to do any work with sound, then yeah, or if I just want to experience something, I've got DT 770s that I can bust out. They give me good reproduction as someone like me needs. There's better, but I gotta tell you, I kind of hate audiophiles. Like I kind of hate audiophiles. Like they really annoy the shit out of me. As people, they bother me. So, yeah. we so I suppose we should do some housekeeping. All right, so we can't say the we can't say the Z word. Okay, so if you don't know what word I'm talking about, Israel. We can't say the Z word anymore. And if I can't get you any closer than that, leave. We can't say well, Cupcake, we are allowed to say the Z word in critique of Israel or common discussion. Now, knowing that any criticism of Israel is characterized as anti-Semitic, the use of that word in a anti-Semitic statement is therefore pejorative, thus catch-22. So I do not see a use case in our use where a bad actor, as there are so many now like trolling through Twitch just looking for, like, I mean, motherfuckers getting bopped for just having Iran in their fucking, in a tag on their channel because dude's from Iran, right? Like, he's like, I'm Iranian. Like, what do you fucking want? Bop. Right? Like, it's so fucking out of control with certain groups that, yeah, we can't use the Z word anymore. It be like that. It's now hate speech if you use it pejoratively. But as I said, the fact of the matter is that any criticism of Israel gets characterized as anti-Semitism. So if it's deemed an anti-Semitic statement, when you use that word, you're double plus fucked. So we're just gonna not use it. We've had a few thoughts. I've had thoughts. I tend to turn everything into an acronym or an initialism, because I'm, you know, a fucking IT guy, and that's just my instinct from way back, is like everything can be an initialism. And then we just come up with awkward shit. Like, I mean, you know, TCP/IP. You're like, what are you doing? Right? Like, awkward. So we've had a few ideas. I don't know if anybody has ideas, but we're just going to engage the euphemism treadmill. We're not saying it. We're just going to find a new word as a community. So I'm going to leave it open to maybe an honest evolutionary process. But we're in no way, shape, or form, you know, like, we're just going to come up with a new word. That's all. We can't use that one. Engage the euphemism treadmill then. Like, I think at this point, I think I can reliably state that I've trained enough of you on the euphemism treadmill that we'll just engage the treadmill and go on with our lives. Like, whatever, man. You can't have that word. We'll find a new word. Cass, the Z word. Spicy colonial. See, that's, it has to be something, pulled from the Texas school activity and use Jedidism. Just, it is the weirdest fucking, like, I never not, yeah, Cass, it's hate speech. Exactly, Wallada. I will never not be surprised and just sort of disappointed. Ryder, Jesus. Probably not that Ryder. We want it to be innocuous. I'll never not be surprised by, like, people who walk into random streams, rooms. Like, I always envision the internet as like this hallway of just like doors and rooms that you can sort of dump into, right? You're like, oh, I'll go in here. I'll go, that sort of thing. And I always envision motherfuckers just like kicking open doors and yeah, just MAGA! And you're like, you know, motherfuckers be in there like flipping an omelet and like, what? It's the weirdest way. Like, that's that dude's first fucking comment on the channel. Like, that's that dude's first fucking comment on the channel. It's just fucking first thing, MAGA! You're like, okay. Anything else? Like it's just I see these people like walking into rooms just yelling shit at people, and you're like, that seems normal. It seems well adjusted. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a very strange way to introduce yourself. That's, and they say that like liberals make it their identity, their whole personality. It's an interesting thing. I'm reminded of what do they call it? Info warrior rides, right? Where it's just plastered, like their vehicle is just plastered in fucking bumper stickers and shit, and in flags and whatever else. And you're just like, dude, your entire personality is just yelling MAGA. I don't know, man. I mean, hey, you do you. Funny, it causes liberals to meld down. Cool. Like, you know how lame that makes you? Like, it amuses me that, like, okay, so you're literally just seeking an emotional reaction. You're like, God, if I could only make, like, the only thing that gets my dick hard is somebody getting emotionally disturbed. Like, that makes my day. That tells me more about you than it does the liberals you're causing to melt down, really. It's kind of pathetic. Like, yeah, it's the only word I can find. It's kind of pathetic. Like, why is this why do you see that as a form of entertainment? Is probably my biggest question. Is like, how does one get to a place in their life where causing people emotional distress is seen as entertainment for you? That seems like pathological territory. It seems like somebody didn't hug you or some shit. Like, did daddy not tell you he loved you or something? Like, that seems like there's some sort of underlying pathology that needs diagnosing that in no way, shape, or form am I qualified to do a diagnosis on. Right? Like, that just seems weird that you're like, you know, my form of entertainment. Like, I work all day. I got a fucking dickhead boss. Groceries are too expensive. The only thing that I find relaxing is just making somebody like emotionally disturbed. Like, that does it for me. That seems like kind of psychopathic. Like, I know where there's like thoughts on the clinical use of those terms, but at least colloquially, it seems like you're fucked in the head, my guy. Yeah. Like, if you just see that as your form of entertainment, is causing people emotional distress, I don't know. That seems like not the thing a real man would do, quote unquote, trademark, hashtag trademark, copyright, fucking real man. It doesn't seem like the thing a real man would do. That seems like some weak beta bitch shit. It really does. Like, I don't know. I've known a lot of battle-hardened men in my life. I've known a lot of fucking, like, yeah, it's kind of pathetic. It's not even kind of, it just is pathetic. Like, that's your whole identity, man. All right. Well, I wish you good luck, I guess. I personally, I hope you grow the fuck up eventually. But barring actual growth as a human being, I suppose good luck, fair winds and following season, all of that. You you're probably not going to get too much traction with it around these parts. You're going to get laughed at more than anything else. You're going to get pity, probably more than the laughter, actually. So yeah. Zippy, I'm sure it can be, just not for me, a person without credentials or qualifications in that field. And especially diagnosing from a distance, you know, I just feel that's appropriate in the first place. So I'll just speak colloquially, you know, just as a fellow person of the world. If somebody pointed out to me that their personal form of entertainment was causing emotional distress in others, like, yeah, I really like it when people cry. Okay, well then, that's not normal. I don't know what that is. I don't know the ICD-10 code for that. But what I do know is I probably don't want to be around that person. That seems like a person that should go away. So, yeah. I'm guessing if I had to. Yeah. Oh, I don't even. As I say, oh, also, if you trigger it too many times, you will get timed out. So you're okay. Duly noted. Oak is the dumb kid that we can't tell not to touch the stove. Okay. Oak is the one who had to touch the fire themselves. Got it. Mark that down. Mittens. Oh, Mittens. We lose a lot of people that way. We do. We do. It's okay. Jay, I just saw the meme you posted. Jesus fucking Christ. Go for it, God. It's up to you. Go for it. All right, so we did the housekeeping. We talked about the fuckwits that are going to be installed by Trump in the cabinet, one of whom is missing actual brain matter because a worm ate part of his brain because he's so fucking weird that he picks up random roadkill and possibly eats it. I don't know. Fucking, I just have this mental image of Christy Gnome fucking shooting some rabid dog and fucking RFK just popping his fucking head out of nowhere going, "You gonna eat that?" And Christy being like, "Robert, you're not supposed to eat rabid dog meat." It's fine. I've already had rabies 3 times. Like, dude, this is a comedy of errors. All right. This is a comedy of errors. This is so, it's so fucked. It's so fucked, man. You're just like, these people are insane. Like, these are insane picks. This is a sketch at this point. Like, am I on Punked? Is this just the world's longest episode of Punked? Somebody find Ashton Kutcher or whoever fucking ran that goddamn show. All right. I need to check. It's so fucking weird at this point that you're just like, really? Really? Oh my God, that's amazing. Che. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. This is so fucked. You are a Jed. Your ancestors used to live in the land of Z, which you believe was given to them by God. Your ancestors were forced to leave the land of Z 2,000 years ago, and your people have been scattered throughout the world ever since. Of course, you believe that they were forced to leave by God. So I'm just saying. All the Jeds have dreamed of the time when they could return to their homeland. Yes, but that's conditional. There's conditions placed upon the time for which in which they can return to their homeland. Again, read the goddamn Old Testament. Throughout the world, there are groups of people who are hostile and racist towards your people. This hostility has increased recently. Has it? And you feel strongly that the Jeds need a country of their own so that they can protect and control their own lives, free from persecution by non-Jeds. As a result, Jed leaders get over this Jed thing. You're right. They changed one fucking letter. One letter. You lazy fucks. One letter. As a result, Jed leaders have called for all Jeds to return to the sacred land of Z. To meet this goal, you must convince the great power which has recently captured the land of Z from the Empire of Ot. Oh my god, to allow you to emigrate. The great power, like most people, does not completely understand your plight and how important your homeland is to you. You must convince the great power to allow your people to immigrate back to their homeland and to create a new country for Jeds in the land of... I'm just seeing Jethro here. I'm seeing like a fucking... Oh, yeah, Jed. What's up, Jed? And to create a new country for Jeds in the land of Z. Oh, and there's another problem. Another people, the Peds. God fucking damn it, this is so goddamn lazy. Have lived in the land of Z, which they call the land of Ped, as long as your ancestors have. The Peds were never forced to leave, and today they're the majority of the people living in the land of Z. Your goal... Convince the great power to allow all Jeds to immigrate to the homeland. Holy fuck. This is sort of like, I know the word allow is in there, but this is one step away from make. Convince the great power to allow all Jeds to immigrate to the homeland and to make the land of Z an independent state for all Jeds. You do not want Peds to be in your new country. Holy shit. That is loaded as fuck, lazy as fuck, and hilarious as fuck. I like Gates as AG. He's perfect MAGA. Takes drugs, fucks children, narrowly escapes the law because nothing means anything. Perfect choice for AG. I mean, float. I called him. I was talking to somebody. I said, you know, I'm like, and then we got a kid fucker in as, I'm like, well, I suppose we should start specifying who's the kid fucker, right? Like now we have the kid fucker in chief, and then we have the chief law enforcement kid fucker. We're going to have to start designating the kid fuckers in this administration by position title. Because we can't just say the kid fucker in the White House anymore, because I mean, looks like he's trying to rack up a fucking like a high score, cuz isn't there Yeah, Pete Hegseth is, he got like sexual assault. He's denying it, that sort of thing. Blah, 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 blah. Was this Kash Patel for FBI director? Does he have any kid fucking on his record as well? Holy shit, look at that fucking, oh, that is a fucking official photo. Wow. That is a thing. This is potentially our new, director of the FBI. Fair warning. It's a very intense, odd, weird. It just, the vibes coming off this one are not right. The vibes coming off of this one are not right. Uh, that was okay. Okay. Oh, he was senior aide to Devin Nunes. Oh, that's hilarious. Is Devin still suing the cow? Has he given up yet? That was him, right? Yep. Yeah, that was him. Oh, fucking. Fucking, yeah. Yeah, I just, hey, I am, hey, T minus. I am rooting for 200% tariffs on all imported goods. We need to bring American manufacturing back to the forefront. And the only way we're going to do it is minimum 200% tariffs on all imported goods. I think we need to teach all of these European commies and these Chinese commies that American manufacturing is back. 200% tariffs on every imported good. Let's do this, right? Start rounding up all of the illegals as well. We can start with agriculture and food service. Shit, Imperial, you are a super patriot, Imperial. I salute you. Start rounding up all fucking illegals. Start with ag and food service. That's 100%. Make farming great again. Make farming white again. All right. I want my lettuce harvested by white people. All right. Sure, it's going to be a $97 head of lettuce. Whatever. Right. Fucking something about the great replacement. Something. Right. Yeah. Let's do this. Fucking Jay, I will delete it immediately. Oh, is that the Ferris Bueller clip? I saw it making the rounds. Yeah, it is. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, Imperial. Fun fact. The incidence of the use of the phrase "your body, my choice" has increased 4,600% in the last 24 hours alone. Also, "get back in the kitchen" is seeing several 1,000% increase of use in places like Twitter. So I think this is just me. This is just me. I think we should definitely try and start a real movement to remove the vote from women. That should be a thing. There should 100% be a campaign party. Republicans, man, get down. Let's do this. Are you not biblical or not? Fucking Timothy 2:12. right? Fucking women don't get authority over men. Fucking, are you about the biblical tenets or not, bitch? Get in here and do this. Start doing this stuff. Let's see tariffs on everything. Let's see you fucking round up all the agricultural and the fucking food service workers, fucking kick them out of the country, try and tell women their place. Hell yeah, try and get women banned from voting. Hey, look, as a student of history, I am not fascinated by the actions of the suffragettes the first round. I can't imagine how that would go a second round. So, yeah, no, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Yeah. Yeah, fucking, and you know what? Vaccines are bullshit, man. Vaccines are just like cucked. Vaccines are Dragonfly, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Vaccines are just cucked beta nanobot mind control, castration, transifying, big pharma conspiracy, right? We need to stop vaccinating all babies, especially all of the, we won't go down that path, right? All the babies need to stop getting vaccines. They're bad for them and they cause autism is what I understand, right? So we need those wellness farms, those wellness happy camps that RFK was talking about. Cause if you're on the SSRIs and shit, he wants to ship you off to a government farm where you farm organic produce and just stop taking SSRIs. Yeah. Or drug abuse, SSRIs, depression, ADHD. You get shipped off to the government farm. Yeah. Fucking, let's do all this, baby. I'm for it. Yes. I am. I look. Personally, mandatory raw milk for babies makes them strong. Yep. The weak ones get weeded out. Yeah. Mandatory raw milk with no vaccines for babies. Hell yeah. Yeah, let's fucking do this. What? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let's fucking, press the accelerator pedal, whatever. Look, if tariffs are good, if tariffs on all Chinese goods are good, fucking, yeah. Yep, ban all books. Exactly. Fucking books. Look. The minute we started writing shit down, society became woke. Yeah. If you can't remember it, it shouldn't exist. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. Dude, if America wants to shoot itself in the foot repeatedly, all right, whatever. Deep cut float. I like that. I respect that. That's a solid deep cut. Germ theory is woke beta bitch shit. Yeah. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Oh, Imperial. If you have a super high IQ, you can apply for the Doge thing with if you have a super high IQ and you pay for Twitter Premium, you can apply for the Doge department or whatever. Yeah. You have to pay for Twitter Premium first, though. Oh, yeah, I knew it would. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that fucking Socrates quote might make the rounds. And so it is that you, by reason of your tender regard for the writing that is your offspring, have declared the very opposite of its true effect. If men learn this, it will implant forgetfulness in their souls. They will cease to exercise memory because they rely on that which is written, calling things to remembrance no longer from within themselves by means of external marks. I'm for it, baby. Let's do this. What will piss me off? What'll piss me off is some slow roll bullshit, right? If they just slow roll this, I want them to blitzkrieg, baby, right out of the gate, January fucking 20th. Well, let's do this by executive order. Like, just start fucking going nuts right out of the gate. Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it. You got promises that you made, motherfucker. You better hold those promises. Exactly, Oak. We've caused enough problems. We've caused enough problems as an organizational entity. Yeah, we've we've caused enough problems as a country. Oh, wobbles. I would never encourage accelerationism. It's a terrible, terrible way to go. But I didn't do this. So, like, I'm not the one who did this. So if we're gonna do this, fuck it. Do it. Stop half-assing this shit. Dude, all the Dems have to do to win, I'm telling you, there's a white cishet dude. That's it. And a running mate who's like kind of broy. Yeah. White cishet dude as a primary candidate. And then you get your vice president as just some bro-ish dude. They'd probably clean house. This country's super easy to manipulate. Hell yeah, Imperial. Gasoline-powered cell phones. Mm. Right. Hmm. Oh, I kind of wanted to play that on stream. I wanted to just play stream. Legally mandatory gasoline powered cell phones. I mean, the guy who's in charge of the EPA is opposed every environmental protection measure he ever came across in Congress. Like, for real, the new head of the EPA is like super on the team of like gas and fracking and that sort of thing. Oh yeah. So don't worry, you might get your gasoline powered cell phone. Ooh, Grounded's on sale, 50% off. I've been meaning to get this game for a while. Does anybody know the game, The Ditty of Carmiana? It's a weird one. It's a weird one. You got Claus. Gas-powered daily life. Hell yeah. I want mine to be powered by V8 though. If this piece doesn't use a gas-powered dildo at some point, then just fuck no. Like you got to make an allusion to it at least, right? Like it's just a bedroom shot. Like, you know, you can do neck up or just the something. Boo! Boo!
Hello to all of you.
I didn't get a gas-powered dildo. Boo. Boo, I say. I mean, who wouldn't want a gas-powered dildo? Yeah, Gen X has always been special. Y'all, my partner's top-end Gen X sort of territory. Is he top-end Gen X? No, he's just solid Gen X. Yeah. Y'all got some tendencies. Y'all got some tendencies. Well, that's useless. All it does is spin. It just spins. No Nobody's ever been like, you know what would make this dick so much better is if you like just started rotating. And you gotta get a little like, you know, gotta get a little thrust action going. I'm gonna get back and forth. That's poor design. That's poor design. Seriously, you're struggling with this? It was a piece of satirical critique. And this is what the world looks like if we just rely on oil. Not everything can be powered by oil. Yeah, Kvass. Kvass, the chicken Viking thing. Yeah, that thing's great. Oh. Is there a trailer for this game even? Maybe. Okay, Carl. Yeah, Carl is the maker, so. Yeah. The game is scuffed as fuck, and it's funny as fuck. The currency of the land is frequent flyer miles. You upgrade your health by eating spleens. Just raw spleens that you occasionally find. The whole thing is jank as shit. And like when the king's daughter gets kidnapped, when the princess gets kidnapped, the military advisor's like, so shall we send the army? And the king's like, dude, do you know how expensive that is to send a whole ass army after one person? Why is my daughter any more special than someone else's daughter? Are you suggesting that we send the military after every daughter that gets kidnapped now? He's like, just find one person and tell them it's fate or something and send them after her. It's fucking great. It's jank as shit, and it's like the whole thing is done with a sense of like a sense of real irony and understanding and satire towards game making. No matter what name you put in your name maker, because there are voiced lines. It's your name is spelled that way but pronounced Lance. And there's a whole line about it. Is, you know, yeah, it's spelled but it's pronounced Lance. So all of them, he is referred to in all of the voice lines as Lance, no matter what you put in as his name, because that's how you spell Lance. As N-O-T-I-B-I, it doesn't matter. It's spelled that way, but it's pronounced Lance. Yeah, it is. It's a hell of a game, actually. That plays heavily into all of the video game tropes. and just shits on them. The Tabitha, your fairy part of the like destiny search was just go find some fairy boy. Not even kidding. They're like, just go find some fairy boy for it. The military recruiter stumbles upon you, and you've got a companion who's a fairy, and he's like, wait, you're a fairy boy. And Tabitha, who you saved from another fairy who was trying to get her to invest in Beanie Babies. And you defeated the other fairy by just looking at him going, I don't believe in fairies. And he just drops dead. And so she's like, yeah, I'll hang out with you for a little bit. She's part of the part of the fairy network. So Tabitha, or Tab, brings up your an actual tablet communication network. T-minus, thank you. All the fairies are in psychic communication with one another. And so they constant psychic communication with each other, sort of a hive mind. So they capitalized upon that and built a communication network. And so you just look at her stomach and you can so yeah, the fairies built a communications network using their real-time psychic connections with each other, and they've monopolized the communications field in the world. Well, I mean, no offense. Skiotoa, I'm sorry that happened to you, but also the justice system is designed to do that. I would tell anybody interacting with the legal system that to prepare oneself for the worst outcome. Yeah. Sorry. Feel free to hang out, find some company. Hey, Crimson. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah, I don't care about it. Oh, God. Seriously? Undocumented mechanic says he won't regret his support for Trump even if he's deported.
President-elect Trump made official.
Yeah, I don't care about it. Shut up, Vanderbilt.
How many of you are U.S. citizens? How many of you support Donald Trump? You're undocumented and you support Donald Trump.
I support Donald Trump for the economy.
To his
He probably thinks he can sneak back in. Honestly, he probably thinks, he's like, I got in the first time. I'll get in a second or a third time.
Hispanic families with mixed legal status in Houston with two different takes on President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House. This is the Espinosa's first gathering since Trump's win.
How many of you fear that deportation could impact your family?
Don't care about them.
Cesar Espinosa.
Show me the moron.
Gelasio Velasquez is an undocumented mechanic who has worked in Houston for 25 years.
This dude's first and last name were put on national TV, and they're showing the shop he works at, and they're saying he's completely undocumented and he's been here for 20 years. How is ICE not rounded Holmes up? All right, like how is Homie still here?
Oh.
He plays in this park with his 2 U.S. citizen children, ages 5 and 9, and stands by Donald Trump.
So you support Donald Trump
This dude's dumb
because
as
of
fuck,
the
man.
economy,
For the economy, yes.
but you don't support the anti-immigrant rhetoric.
I'm not support the anti-immigrant action.
Do you support his mass deportations?
No, it's not human.
Are you afraid that
Oh, this is, you know what? This is the first time I'm unironically going to use it. They're not sending us their best. This is a bit painful.
you could be deported in this mass deportation?
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Espinosa runs a migrant advocacy
I
group
don't
and
care
says
about-
many people
I don't
When
care about
this-
them.
Why
There we go.
Latino men are going to Trump?
I think there's a heightened sense of fear.
Explain why Latino men are going to Trump.
Democrats forget the promise when these guys are in the office in the Washington. The Latinos want a better nation.
Espinosa believes some of the Latino support for Trump was a vote against the prospect of the first black female president.
There's still a lot of machismo. There's still a lot of misogyny. And something that we need to say aloud is there's a lot of anti-blackness.
Velasquez says he hopes Trump finds compassion for immigrant fathers like him who are not criminals.
If you get deported,
Except you are a criminal. I mean, you are a criminal. By the very definition of what you're talking about, you're a criminal. Right? It's a fucking misdemeanor as far as I understand it to be. But you are a criminal. Like, God damn it. I am so sick of these leopard eating faces party voters. Fucking Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
would you regret your support to Donald Trump?
No me arrepentiría.
He's saying that he wouldn't regret supporting Donald Trump. So you're really not thinking about yourself. You're thinking about your children and the future of your children.
Yes, I want the better for my children.
Cesar says he feels guilty for bringing so much uncertainty to his family.
What's it like for you to see your wife go through this and the emotions that she's going through?
I apologize to her a lot. We fell in love right away, and we got married almost right away, because when you know, you know.
We asked Velasquez and Espinosa the same final question.
Do you have a plan in case you get deported?
I respect that decision. I leave the country. I'm not come back.
There is a plan. We've talked about it openly with our family.
Turns out these two Hispanic families with two different takes on Trump's win have the same plan if they get deported. They would go to Mexico as a family.
Okay. Whatever. No flan for you. Yeah, it depends, Sasha. It depends. Imperial. There's a reason he died when he did. He'd have stroked out on fucking stage. I mean, but homie said he's not coming back, right? Trump's AG pick under scrutiny as woman testifies to House that Gates had sex with minor. Yeah. Dude, Imperial, that'd be hilarious. Looking for something to watch.
France hosted Israel and...
If you know me, you know that I love a good boycott. I love a good strike. I love any kind of opportunity where you can show the person, that event, that thing, that we're not supporting you no longer. Today there's a soccer game for...
Oh God, just show me the thing. I don't need blonde white American girl to show me the French thing. God damn. Holy fuck, that is empty.
I want everyone...
Yeah. Oh, that is... They did not show up to that game.
I want everyone to take this number.
Fourth
Was around
80,000. Holds 80,000. Not bad. Not bad.
Will also be guarding the visiting Israeli team. The measures come a week after the post-match
Look at all the people doing a pogrom.
violence in the Netherlands following a match between the Amsterdam team and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Parisians are divided about hosting the match in their city.
Well, that is an understatement.
Pro-Palestinian protesters say the Nations League match should be canceled
Somebody wants attention in chat.
or boycotted. This protester called it the match of shame.
This game shouldn't have taken place because it will give Israel a PR opportunity abroad. It's a colonial society. It's an apartheid imposed on the Palestinians. The conflict is brutal and it's not France's honor to host this game.
Prior to the match, one French group urged the national team players to refuse to take the pitch for the match. They'd say the footballers serve as ambassadors and role models for millions of youngsters in the country. There were also these protests that took place outside of a pro-Israel gala where Finance Minister Smotrich was advertised to be in attendance. He would cancel last minute, though. This is an extremist who aligned with Netanyahu to secure the Israeli government's position to annex the West Bank, gave quotes such as "finish the job," and has stated he believes all Arabs should be kicked out of the country. The event served as a fundraiser for the Israeli army. Meanwhile, for those who did attend,
around 100 of these Israeli fans huddled together in a small corner of the Stade de France. It was the lowest attendance at the stadium for a national game.
Diplomatic relations between French President Emmanuel Macron and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have become strained by Israel's war in Gaza.
Ils sont pas venus regarder un match, ça, ils vont perdre le match.
This one is a pogrom, though, Fox. We're literally watching the Holocaust.
Despite all this, the match remained largely unaffected. The game continued despite the charged-up atmosphere and sadly ended in a goalless draw.
from Middle East Eye, videos shared on social media would show Israeli fans, some with their faces covered and with Israeli flags draped on their backs, attacking French fans. Around 40 arrests would take place around the stadium. 24 of them resulted in police custody, them being placed in police custody, but for nothing serious, according to police sources. The New York Times has more from Paris and on-the-ground reporting. Before the game, helicopters thumped overhead.
Don't care. Don't care. Police number, spectators, blah, blah, blah.
And the Israeli country kept it in the country, but
security. Honestly, I think it's sad to see that we have such a large security presence for a simple football match. Because sport is made to unite.
She's adorable.
Always had laughter and tears only through sport. Sport is not supposed to be conflictual.
And the counter.
French-Palestinian lawyer Salah Hamouri says it's impossible to separate soccer from politics. The athletes who are in the team, a part of them, were also in the army or are still in the army. This is why this match must be suspended, he said.
When Russia went to war against Ukraine, they were banned from all sports. Despite the genocide, the fact that they kill women, children, men can be victims too, Israel is allowed to play a match. We are told sports and politics should be separate. Well, no. If we give them that right, then we are complicit in their murder.
I should make note that
Imperial. Sports is inherently competitive and conflictual. It just is. It just inherently is. And the language that is used in sports is that of, it mirrors that of war. It's not. The idea of sport bringing us together is sort of in that sweet summer child territory. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. People definitely don't divide themselves by sports teams. People definitely don't get into brawls over sports. There definitely aren't riots regularly over sports outcomes. It's a cute idea. It's a cute idea.
there are parallels between Western Europe's
I I'm reminded of the opening fight in a very particular anime in which one practitioner of one art advocates it as a that it isn't what it is, that wielding a sword is practicing to kill. And one person challenging another person and them saying, do you believe what she believes? And responds, no, I don't. Wielding a sword is practicing to kill. Just is. But I'd love to believe what she believes. It'd be nice if it were that way. It'd be sweet if sports united us that way. But the reality of the situation is that no, it's not. What Bill? What's Bill up to? Oh God, they've stitched together Trump and Bill Burr.
Stuff deliberately confusing, like white privilege. Every white person I knew was like, I didn't grow up rich. That's how we took that. I don't know why. I don't know who names the shit, but like, I didn't know what it meant. I was like, what are you talking about? I grew up in a duplex with squirrels in the So
what would you call it?
What would I call white privilege? No, I would. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Being white? I don't know.
Being white. Yeah, it's gonna be a horribly stitched together. Let's the other nomination. Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard got a position as well. Jesus fucking Christ. We are gonna. Can't wait. Yeah, exactly, Cody. Like, the idea of sports uniting people is cute, I guess. Caboose, we went over a bunch of them a while ago. It's my favorite is RFK, head of Health and Human Services. Dude's literally missing part of his brain because it got eaten by a fucking worm, a parasite, because homeboy picks up and eats random roadkill and shit. Like, are you fucking with me? This isn't the dude. This is going to be the guy in charge of Health and Human Services. All right. Let's do this, baby. Let's do this. Ah, yes, the anti-vax thing. He wants to set up wellness farms where drug addicts and people who are on SSRIs and have ADHD or depression get sent to for free, paid for with tax money from weed. And they can go to the government wellness farms and farm organic produce to get off of their SSRIs and get off the drugs they're addicted to. Yeah. Wellness farms. Exactly. Exactly. Sent to a wellness farm upstate. I was a weak beta male earlier, just demanding 200% tariffs on all imported goods, but Imperial came in and alphaed, and you 600%. So super patriot. We want 600% tariffs on all imported goods. None is just China shit, right? America needs to be fucking alpha male, America needs to be like Sigma male grind set. We need to be making literally everything. So, yeah, we need to apply a 600% tariff on literally all imports. Shit, it's 800% now. I just got out alphaed again. Shit. All for it, baby. I'm all for it. Let's get those tariffs in place. Fucking, like I said, round up all the illegals. Start with agricultural and food service. Agricultural and food service, baby. I want that. I want that $97 head of lettuce picked by white people. I want somebody named Tim to pick my lettuce. All right. Sweethearts, probably not. Depends on the country. If you actually if you're actually freaked out and you want to start talking, Todd, Ryan, exactly, Todd. If you want to actually start talking to people, if you want to start looking at resources for possibly moving via marriage or other way, you can send me a DM and I'll point you in the right direction. There's people assembling themselves and resources, preparing for American refugeeism if it becomes a necessity for some people. Oh, nice, Caboose. Send me a DM and I'll point you in the right direction. Yeah. Yep, Cody. We talked about him too. Yeah, he'll be fine. Actually, he's one of the ones that, weirdly enough, I'm least worried about, because I could see, again, it's not links, it's somebody you need to talk to, and like I said, you can DM me. So, like, I could see the Pentagon literally working around him. It is a thing that he definitely, like, it has occurred before. It has occurred before that the Pentagon just sort of works around a Secretary of Defense. So I could see them working around him. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know, man. Just kind of want to watch something or sort of I said, I had a fucking Wednesday night into Thursday. Oh, that was not fun. Oh, good. Trump's apparently skipping some FBI checks for he's skipping FBI background checks for some of the cabinet picks. In this instance, Caboose, it's more, don't worry, guys. They're not kid fuckers, I swear. Doomy doom doom, doomy doom doom doom. Or, yeah, don't worry, guys. They are part of a neo-Nazi group. Yeah. Fucking find out. Yeah, that will never happen. It will never happen. What is a Connor? Don't care. Alex Jones unintentionally explains the plot of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Or as I prefer to say, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
But there's this big war trying to, like, basically destroy humanity because humanity has free will, and there's a decision to which level we want to go to. We have free will, so evil's allowed to come and contend, not just good. And the elites themselves believe they're racing using human technology to try to take our best minds and build some type of breakaway civilization where they're going to merge with machines, transcend, and break away from the failed species that is man, which is kind of like a false transmission because they're thinking what they are is ugly and bad, projecting it onto themselves instead of believing, no, it's a human test about building us up. And so... But there's this
look. He caused a lot of harm, right? He caused a lot of harm. Super problematic. And he's a dickhead of epic proportions, right? In no way, shape, or form am I defending Alex Jones. He is trash. He is trash. But goddamn, I love that trash. He's fucking... He's my trash, goddammit. He's my trash. Oh, he's so fucking weird, man. He's so fucking weird. And it's a trip listening to him. It's a trip listening to him. I want to tell you, man. You know, I go way back with AJ, man. We were there. Me and my buddies were there smoking entirely too much weed in the early 2000s, listening to him. Like, oh, Like, yeah, we were there, man. We were there for all of it. Your ex got into Alex Jones in like early 2000s. Yeah. Dude, you smoke weed all day in the afternoon. You just fucking absolute ne'er-do-well, right? Like just a bunch of fucking slackers. We'd just be hanging out at my buddy's house. The whole fucking, all the windows are fucking like blacked out, right? We all show up. Whenever you show up, you get off work, you fucking wake up, whatever, man. You roll over, you show up, you just walk in that fucking door. The whole place is already like just weed smoke. It's like there's a layer of haze, like there's a haze layer, like always sort of thing going on, right? Not enough air circulation happening. So there's a haze layer happening. And fucking you walk in and guaranteed there's one of two things on. There's either Alex Jones or there's Seven Bomar. I've shown you guys Seven Bomar. Fucking there's Alex Jones or Seven Bomar. So either way, there's some schizo rant going to be happening on the fucking TV, right? And just there's a recliner, there's the couch, there's another fucking recliner. There's a kitchen over there with a fucking bar you can stand at sort of situation. And just a bunch of fucking dudes. And just getting blitzed out of their fucking brains going, you know what? And just diving in the conspiracy hole with them. Like, dude, what if... And it's gone, man. So one person says, what if? And the next thing you know, you're in some wild territory. Oh, God. Great times. It was great times. So I have a sentimental soft spot for this fucking nut job. He's trash. He's trash. But goddamn it, that trash is tasty. Imperial. It's Sevan. You got the Bomar correct, actually, but it's Sevan. Seven Bomar. Alex Jones is like eating a bag of chips. Not great for you, but fun in small doses. Or hear me out. Get completely stoned and eat a case. I know, right, Willada? Man, we solved so many global problems. It was amazing. That's so on brand for somebody making Seven Bomar clips. Seven Bomar clips. A clip, hour and 40 minutes long. That's so on brand. That's so on brand. Dude, Seven Bomar can go just like Alex can go. Fucking wind him up and let him loose, man. 8 hours later. Like Seven used to live stream, just like Alex used to live stream. And you could just catch that wave and ride it. And you'd be like, holy shit. And just goes and goes and goes and goes. The history of sorcery.
Be upset and don't blame anyone when you find yourself cut off, because no one can cut you off but you. You flip the switch. So I want everyone to know that before I explain what I'm about to explain, for you feel like that these archons and all the rest of the names that you can give for them are so heavy that they're weighing you down. Because when you stop thinking that you're in debt to them and that you got to serve them, people are so in the brainwash service program. I get emails from people that have been reading knowledge for 4 or 5 years that we've been producing, still trying to associate with some name or something that they can say has power and that is now them.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing, is like it's just trying to take over your consciousness and take your power anyway. And the smarter you get, the smarter it gets because you're expanding. Right?
Guarantee,
and so this
Camille.
also shows us
Guarantee.
that whatever it is, it will always live within us. It's about whether we can contain it, whether it actually is put in its proper place, whether it's being, you know how you see someone that has all these powers and abilities. This is Hermes' motif. It's the same as Loki's. All this.
Marcus, 7 is more than a Gnostic. He is many things. He is many things. He would absolutely steal from Gnosticism to a certain degree. But he is many things. He would 7 is, I don't know, like sort of like the definition of New Ageism, right? Like that sort of, we will steal and take from any and everything and assemble this hydra of just malignant thoughts. Yeah. Whole lot of the sort of the post-string theory, post-matrix internet informed New Ageism, multi-dimensional entities that transcend, that you can touch to, that are stealing energy from lower dimensional vibrations and that sort of thing. Yeah. But also holistic practices that you could probably find within, Rastafarians even. But yeah, a lot of that. Weird fractal organ collectors and shit that, you use to anchor reality to the like source wave around yourself. It's a lot of I've played some of his like actual like just whiteboard lectures where he just goes off. And he just starts like a lot of the sort of like, he's big into that. What do words mean? Because words matter, right? Words are spells, and they very much words are casting spells, and they have an impact upon the third dimensional. Oh yeah. Like it's all of it. It's all of it. Like he'll take all of it. So, yeah.
And before I even get any deeper in today's conversation, I actually wanted to bring something up that came up again in one of our ambassador meetings just recently, and it will give everybody a very clear picture of exactly what kind of reality we're in per se, and what also is the mysteries behind the soul. And it'll answer many questions that people have about whether it's flat or whether it's round, and a lot of different things. But I'm almost reluctant to turn this on, only because we did have that little issue with my video, but I'm just gonna try it again and see what happens. Let's try this. I'm gonna actually leave that on and do it like that and hope that works out a bit better. Actually, I should have put it on the second line. So what you're looking at is what's known as a Dyson swarm. That's DYSON swarm. And this was a term that came up years ago for me inside of my consciousness when the higher self was explaining to me exactly where we were at and what we were experiencing. And even when I went and looked this up, I wasn't able to really correlate this with what was exactly happening to me in the reality. But through some situations that just occurred recently, something came back to my mind and said, hey, what you're describing is a Dyson swarm. Remember, you saw that picture. So you don't even have to create an illustration. There's already been an illustration created around it, okay? And so I'm just going to explain this really briefly because this is actually a perfect model of the soul. And this is why even the Dyson has sun within it. And it's a hint to that it's the division of the sun. And while these are technical, if not scientific terms, they actually ring true with what goes on in the metaphysical aspects of the creation. So now let's just look at this very briefly. And what we see is we see a sphere. And on the outside of this sphere, there are several dots that are projecting themselves onto the outer edge of the sphere. And then in the center, we have like a central ball of what we could say is the sun, or a coalescing of these dots. Okay. So let's just imagine that each of these dots then on the outside connects to one of these rays that you see from the inside. Okay. So meaning that each dot would then, and that's the only thing that hasn't been done with this particular drawing. Let me annotate it real quick. Actually, I can do it here. Let's just imagine, do the right annotation tool I'm looking for. I think I can use, there's a line here. No, this one. It's a line tool. Doing it again. If I click line here, or this dot here, it connects to here. Okay. Let's put in another one.
Camille, Costa Rica, lot. Yeah, Costa Rica. That was always one of his favorite places to go.
It's through these simple charts that you will come to understand everything. So let's say this dot, it also connects. And all I'm saying here is that every single dot that's on the outer edge, which appears to be individual, actually has a thread or a beam that connects it to the center. Okay. And what I'm getting at here is I'm getting at that all of the plants, all the animals, all the insects, including the trees, all the living life forms are functioning in this reality as you see them, as if they are separate, meaning that you think that they're separate, you think that you're separate, but that's not really the case. You're operating as separate, but you're actually a projection of something that is really central or in the center, which today you can say that that is the sun. And it's become, we're seeing things upside down and inside out. So just bear with me here. But the sun that you're seeing in the sky is actually the axis mundi. It is the pillar, and everything is spiraling around it. But because we don't want to see it that way, and also because inside we are not balanced, we see it as that it's going through the sky and then the sun goes down and then it comes back up again. But what's actually happening is the things that are closest to the sun or closest to the soul, including human beings, would actually be following the sun on its journey. And even when the sun went, quote unquote, down here, when the sun went down, you would just go into a state that would be close to the sun yet again. So you would go into the sleep stage and then you would be lucid. But it is the division that we carry on within ourselves. And that's why we say the division is the nemesis. The division that we carry on within ourselves and the division that we've inherited within this reality that often doesn't allow us to be able to see this higher truth. It also is that at the center of each of these balls is where everything is connected. At the center is where this cord, if you may, or beam of light connects every single life form to the center of the soul, which is the sun. Okay. So for you, this center is your navel. Okay. They also call this the nave. It is the center of your consciousness, or the center of your being, right? That's also where the dantian is, where you would compress the energy from the crown chakra and the energy from the root chakras and below, and bring them all to the center of self, which actually creates like what you feel like is electricity, but others call it chi, because chi is, in this case, the sun. Okay? So what this does is this, and pay attention here, because this gives you a supreme ability, because this is supreme knowledge. So even trees, what you see in the center of the tree, right, is where they are threaded to this central soul. So even humans, where you see the center of the human, which is the navel, which is seen as the umbilical cord, this is where you see the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord is a cognate of this light beam that connects to the soul. So all beings are actually connected to the soul, even if they're actually experiencing themselves as being separate. Now, what this is also called, when you're out here on the rims, or you're out here on the outer edges of the spheres, is it's actually called wandering. because you're actually not in the center of yourself. And this is what is being brought us the term called wandering stars. Okay. And now listen to this soundbite real quick here.
Camille.
Our purpose, to create a star within a star.
So this actually comes from a movie called Sunshine, where they're going out into space and they encounter this other being, and it's all wild, the movie. But that's a soundbite from the movie because they're really stating the true purpose of the divisive reality is to create a star within a star. Basically, to make a person or something feel separate inside of something that is already separate, inside of something that is already separate. And that's like a continuous falling down the ladder versus that's the fall, if you may, versus the awareness that actually nothing is really separate. And to truly climb the ladder, to get away from the fallen aspect of the consciousness, you only need to become aware of how you connect with everything and how, even though there's infinite stars within stars within stars, they're all threaded through the center. And so what this means then, and let's see, oh, wow, it worked. Okay, so what this means is that if you get to the center of yourself, which is a big reward if you can do it, then you can communicate with all things. Okay, and only those who reach the center of themselves can communicate with all things. So you get people around here and they're like, oh, I want to communicate with animals. Some say they do and they're lying. Some say that they're doing all this incredible stuff and they're lying, because the reality is that if you're not actually centered within yourself, you can't do any of that, because it's only through the center that you can actually accomplish what is omniscience and accomplish what is giving you the ability to actually communicate with everything. Why? Because it's only when things are centered does a real communication happen. This is why you generally can't sometimes speak directly to a tree and get an answer back unless you really focus on centering yourself, which happens through the meditation. It happens in different ways. You can begin to at least temporarily center yourself. Sometimes substances temporarily center the being. But of course, what we're looking for is we're looking for that permanent centering. And what that's going to do is it's going to unlock all of these multiverses and all these different spaces. And I think this may be one of the most important things that I brought up in the conversation today about. Again, for even just listeners who don't have the visual of this, just type in Dyson, D-Y-S-O-N, swarm inside of your own computer, and then look at that model and then see what's in the center and identify that as the axis mundi and identify that as your sun in the sky, and then see that the sun is in the center. And then, of course, this is so factual that if you look at the sun and you're centered, and this could be because you took some substance that centered you, it could
there are many iterations, Cody. There are many ways to pay money to 7. They have changed over the years. Once upon a time, it was very benevolent. He just needed to get this out of his head. There's probably an element of mild mental illness, sort of manic territory. You could feel he just needed to get this out. And then it became monetized and there's a lot of monetization over the years. Marcus, hours, baby. Like, I'm not even kidding. He has probably streamed the amount of videos and stuff that he put out over the years, like 99% of it isn't even archived. 99% of it isn't even archived. It's just into the ether sort of situation. There was audio streams and eventually video streams and like thousands of hours, probably thousands of hours. Homeboy can just go. He can just go. Yeah. As far as his using of the Axis Mundi, Marcus, I know that you insist that we're tip meanings, but he's using it as the cosmic axis, in the manner of the connection between heaven and earth and in the cosmic axis form. So that not to like defend it or anything. It's just I can explain it. Like I know, like I said, I've listened to a fair amount of Seven. I you know, yeah. Let's just say we're familiar. More than just listening. Yeah. We go way back. And so yeah, he's using it as the cosmic axis, the connection between heaven and earth, not the world tree or the center of the world, or you know, et cetera, et cetera. Well, Marcus, yeah, yes, Aether is a thing. I have never had sex with Seven Bomar. That I can absolutely say with well, I mean, maybe on a spiritual level, there's an argument to be made there. There's an argument to be there. Our nether regions have never crossed. Yeah, no, I didn't fuck Seven. But yes, he absolutely. Most of his things are, yeah, we touched Kundalinis exactly. Most of his things are usually like manipulated a bit. So like, yes, he'll utilize the term aether, but he will then re-envision it through his own interpretation. So he'll shift it 3 degrees. So yeah, it's kind of his thing. It's kind of his thing. I fuck Seven. And if I were still in touch with any of the old crew, that would be mentioned. Yeah. Just so much weed and so much weed and listening to hours of Seven. Oh yeah. Yeah, we would just sit there and fucking vibe and discuss. Oh man. Better times. Much better times. Peaky, one of them might. I mean, he did, but he's forbidden. That sort of thing. Some secrets stay secret. Yeah, Camille, that's my information. His real name is James. Anybody's wondering. Not that difficult to find. He's not that too secretive about it, but yeah, Seven's. This is his actual name. His government name. His slave name. His Christian name. However you wish to iterate it. Yeah, his name is actually James. Oh, these weirdos. Oh God, yes. I didn't even know this existed, but this is gonna be. Oh, this would be insane to watch. Black Magic 363, which is a weirdo. As soon as I hit play on this, you're going to find out real quick. Seven Bomar presents Infinity Matrix Chronicles of the Serpent Mother. There's black magic.
All right. We should live right now. One of them nights, family. I had to start the show like this. It's one of them nights. We going deep into the occult. We going deep into esoteric studies. And
This is 5 hours and 18 minutes. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's a time where I would have watched this entire fucking thing.
history. Going deep into our cosmic history. And the deeper we go, the lesser I look like who you know as Brother Rich. And the more I might look like this that you see right here. This may be more of a real resemblance of how I look than the typical Brother Rich that you see. But we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time tonight, family. Hit the like button, get a little long about, and we'll be right back after this camaraderie.
Here we
7 at. I can't. Your audio. Hello.
Here we are.
There you go. Man, 7 Beaumont, good to have you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to welcome back 7 Beaumont. Welcome back, my brother.
Look, man, they like Andrew Tate, man. I decided I'd throw on my glasses because my holistic doctor said, hey, 4 hours worth of 5200 Kelvin light for 16 years is probably not the best idea if you want to keep your 20/20.
No. I had to get my blue light. I got my blue light, man. This computer ain't no joke.
Look, then I was like, you know what? I was like, man, I can't do Bro Rich like that. I got to come on with my glasses, right? So I'm just letting everybody know. So when I get Bro Rich on the line, he's got this mask on. So then I'm like, okay, I feel really conservative wearing glasses because he went all the way in on that one. So yes, we're here again. We're at another orbit, right? I think that's how we do it. It's been about a year since we dropped that last gem, and digesting has been happening. And but we felt an alignment, right, to get ready to come in on the next level because
oh, I missed that, dude. He's insane. He's properly insane. It's wild. This the shit I'm afraid my polywitch will get into. Wobbles, you would be lucky. You would be lucky if your polywitch got into 7 Bomar. I was about to ascend. So he was on with Black Magic fucking 2 months ago. How to harness power from the stars.
Time, a spirit animates in his heart called the quarine, his or her heart. I believe this is the origin of a star. And they then go forward and say, now they're not using nice and kind words, but that the quarine then runs through the person's veins. It lives in the veins. So they were saying basically the devil lives in your veins. Lives in your blood, excuse me, I'll be very specific. They said that the devil lives in blood. He doesn't live in these external. This is like the deeper Sufi works. But they're still encoding it because they're trying to get you to see something. They're trying to get you to see what happens when you get angry. First of all, what is the opposite of meditation? Like we've learned how meditation is such a big cure for so many things that we've been facing in our lives. So let's take a little time.
She's already into woo-woo shit. I just don't want her to go into this or becoming too holistic that she stops believing in vaccines. Peaky, he is a preacher. Absolutely. Yep. 100,000%. Yep, he's a preacher. Yeah, he's just preaching crazy new age shit. That's all. But definitely a preacher of the classic tradition as well.
If people miss that, for instance, like the whole thing is so super connected. The ley lines that run down the earth, which are the same ley lines people go down when they die. Like, do you know when you die, you go down a highway right away? It's called, and they're straight lines. That's what they call the old straight track. And cemeteries generally are always where the big like the LAX or the ATL of where the whole transfer is about to go, because this thing is definitely not finna waste anything what we're in. People be thinking they're gonna die. Do you think you could get out of it that easy? See, we created death because we were afraid of life. We needed something to kind of stop life and start life over again, because we would get headlong in the infinity crazy stuff that we needed to be like, okay, we need to stop and start again. You know, sometimes that happens in your life where you like, man, look, let me start over again in life. So that's called death, but it's not real. If people miss that.
Oh, I love him. I really do. He's great. Oh.
Okay, so let's talk about the film. I guess that's the first place to start so everyone realizes how this exactly works. Now, as it's said in occultism, as above, so below, and the reason why that was mentioned and is mentioned so much is because it's also the way that sorcerers or dark magicians figure out how the higher things work, okay? So it's a direct reference to, hey, if we can understand any part of this, then we can see it from the entire spectrum. So now let's go to Hollywood very briefly, because we have to bring it into something in modern times that everybody has got to understand. Now, we know that Hollywood is run by occultists. If you don't know that by now, you probably should give up this life and just go chill out, go relax on a Tempur-Pedic bed, wait till you kick off and then try to start it up again and then go at it again, because you need to know where this is coming from, is what I'm saying. So media is the number one occultist. The TV is the Black Mirror, okay? It's the scrying box. So at this stage, then, let's now assume that those that are writing these scripts and working with this equipment and stuff in Hollywood are all adepts, the ones that especially behind the scenes. And when you accept that, then you may learn how magic works. We have to have some version of it working that we can draw parallels to now. We also know that Aleister Crowley, who is the OTO of the Golden Dawn, basically those who study the Dark Tantra, was very influential in starting Hollywood and writing a lot of the scripts to do the rituals that were necessary to bring about breaking guardian bounds, like basically taking entire areas and removing the guardians from those areas so those areas can be used continuously to do things that would normally not be done in the order.
Marcus, that's some basic bitch shit. Look, this is my boy Seven, all right? He on some next level shit, all right? That's some basic bitch shit. You're like, he was just gonna do some basic bitch anti-Semitism. Oh no.
So what I'm referring to here is that Hollywood became a place where dark magic could be practiced to affect the masses. But what had to be created was like a microcosmic version of how the world works. Okay? And it has to be so on point, so exact. It has to be able to even affect the world of the person it's being projected to. So to be very clear, each person is a world. So to create another world and to place it inside of somebody else, in effect, allows another world to start to begin inside of them. This is what Hollywood specializes in. So now I first want to take you to the equipment, because this is occult equipment that is first used. Now, the projector, okay? Now we've learned what projecting is. But the projector in itself, if we understand its original origin, has something in it called the film. Okay, and the film is made from cellophane. Okay, or celluloids. In fact, film used to just be called celluloids. Pass me the celluloids, not pass me the film. And it's because in science, which is their first religion, Zionism, scientists, what was discovered is the film that's actually around stars, like what is the next the next substance that is right on stars, is actually cellophane. That cellophane, or what you even call plastic, but an organic polymer, is exactly what's around stars. Okay? So somebody said, well, how do they know that knowledge? Somebody say, well, they never went to space. What are you talking about? Some may get into an argument about it. But as I said, as above, so below. They examine what stars really are. What stars really are, many of them are actually mirrors of trees. Okay? Especially the fixed stars. They're mirrors
Spaghetti, we don't use that word anymore.
Of trees. So when they study trees and plants and leaves,
like literally you're not allowed to type it in chat,
they noticed that the leaves were mostly made of cellophane, this hyperactive polymer that reacted to UV light and actually was able to produce energy and even some kind of essence off of ultraviolet light, which is what plants do with the sun. And so it was summarized, which is also true, that the stars that you're seeing out there, the first bubble that's around them is cellophane. Okay, now I'm just bringing this to your attention because now then, with this material cellophane, it makes sense then that if that is our strip of film, and we put these stars in the negative, because remember, these are also called negatives. So we put these stars like John Wayne and Marilyn Monroe onto this strip of cellophane, and we then project with light this through a cathode ray tube, which is shaped like a hexagram, into the person's mind that's actually watching this using 1,000 points of light. That's an angelic reference, millions of points of light. Then in effect, we can actually send an entire world into their mind. Okay? So when I say the film, anytime in this conversation, you should understand that what I'm referring to is that it's an actual layer that starts to become created that separates you from what's really going on. Now, this was also taken from, because remember, this is not their invention. This was taken from that nature does this also. It's like her way of kind of soothing her children. She puts a film over their eyes to kind of shield them from darker things that happened at a certain time. So I'm going to explain this. When you die, if you haven't made the breakthrough yet and you haven't like knocked down the tunnel to yourself, there are all these doors, films, if you may, that are separating you from the past life. And every time you die, that door is closed, and there's like a film or a separation that's between you and the last life. And it's hard to either get through that film, see through that film. That's why you don't know much about your past life. It's hard to break through that film. Okay? So this is what I mean by when someone can be dragged through worlds. Is that every time something stops and begins and there's a film in between it, this basically makes it like a separation for a person. Now, I'm going to make it even more clear, especially for those who like symbolism. If you notice when you look at a shell in the ocean, the ones that spiral and fly, there are these little parts in each, little separations in each part. It's like where the calcium builds up, forms a wall, and the wall becomes the structure that builds the next case. Okay? And that's why a shell generally has these separations in it, and you can't put your hand all the way through it because it actually has like little films that separate it. So when they call it a breakthrough, what they're referring to is somehow you gain the ability to knock down all of those doors, down the tunnel of fire, back to your original origins, to the original awareness of yourself, and you're able to connect your end to your beginning, your alpha to your omega. At that point, you become hypersentient. And until then, you exist with these films or layers blocking you from the past life and blocking you from the awareness of what happens after death and what happened to grandma, what happened to grandpa, what happened to great-great-grandma, what happened to your son, what happened to your dog. That place that they are is on the other side of the film, okay? We call it outside of time, okay? So what Hollywood has done is Hollywood has created a lot of film Now, how you know this is phi is because now look at a film strip. Now, a film strip is exactly identical to the flat Earth model. It is exactly how a projection really is. It's a disc.
I love that. I love that, man. I really do. I love him. I love him with all of my multidimensional beings. All of my soul. He is hilarious. Spaghetti, he's grifted a few people out of some cash, but like there's some direct harm that I could probably point to that I think he's probably done. What? Grand scheme? Grand scheme? Yeah. He's not that bad. Also, just for pure entertainment value, I mean, Jesus Christ. Look, I can't vouch for anything like, you know, that, but as far as I know, no kid fucking. It's not his bag. He's not into the kid fucking. So that right there puts him in like the 99th percentile of fucking religious people. Oh man, yeah, it's fucking Seven Bomar, man. Dude is wild, and like I said, he can just go. He can just go and go and go and go and go. There's definitely some sort of manic nature to it. There's definitely like, it's not full on manic episode, but there is like a tonality of manic episode to a lot of what he does that you're just like, he's still going. Yes, he's still going. Yes, he did not take a break anywhere in any of that. He just goes. Yeah. Dude's more qualified to be the AG than Matt Gaetz. Yes, very much full stream of consciousness. And his consciousness is expanded. Spaghetti, very much the early years of Seven, it was very much, I've described him as that. Like, he just needed to get it out. Later, by this point he's vacationing in Costa Rica and stuff. There's some different aspects that definitely need brought up, but the early days, he was very much just, yeah. He just needed to get it out. He had a whiteboard. It was crazy. Man, if you just handed him a fucking whiteboard and a fucking like a dry erase marker and a whiteboard, shit got wild. He just started. And by this word, and if you break this word into these pieces, then you see this word and this word, and this word actually means this and this and this plus this. And if you drive that down to the numbers that they come from, and then the word, those numbers, but in the you know, the Hebrew would be, oh yeah, it gets wild. It gets nuts. Cody, a fair amount. I wouldn't say more than any of the other New Age woo-woos. He probably does it less than the other New Age woo-woos. But he does it. It's definitely in his repertoire. Yeah. Probably a little less than a lot of the New Age woo-woos do. Oh god, the comments are great. Cody. Studied implies, I mean, Yes, okay. There was definitely study. There's definitely study, but yeah. There was more than that. Let's see. 1080p. It's to be 1080p. Comments are just, your stuff makes so much more sense to me than it used to. This shit is deep. Man, reeling it all in here. Whoever clipped this, applause emoji. And as always, insert word phrase for whatever's the equivalent of mad beyond props to 7. Anyone with a device in front of them should understand that there's a transference of information back and forth from the user and the device. Fucking synthetic realism. Whoa, what a topic to expound on. Stay in wisdom and peace. Some of us are quantum now. We repeat the same life, but are able to change timelines by altering past events that branch us. Be it ruining a relationship, being late for an interview, silly things we would have noticed at the time, but when you look back, you wouldn't have noticed at the time, but when you look back at it, you wonder why you would have acted in such a way, emotionally controlled by your subconscious because that timeline ended in a mistake, so you started back from this point and change it. Butterfly effect. You keep doing this process of making mistakes, but drifting through life till the desired timeline opportunity presents itself. Then all that cortisol and lack of fear turns into determination and aggressive work towards that magnum opus. Could take you your whole lifetime, but you as the body would only remember mistakes and dreams. A time you lost your dog and the police found it because you went back in time and made sure your lost dog was found, and a sad timeline could have been avoided. That's when you give your faith to the rules and the higher ones. The higher one being just you playing a reality simulation advert for all the other lives you could have next. Oh. I actually have been to the land Crowley used in Hollywood right under the sign. There are beautiful occult stained glass sigils in the stone building on the land and a metal-like manhole type of thing with symbols on it at the entryway. It was interesting. I was young, so I wasn't sure what to make of it, but this is making a lot of sense right now. Fucking, hence the word stars, mind-blown emoji. Create against creation, that's what they're doing. Creating against that which has already been created. Wouldn't psychology be metaphysics, being as though it works with the unseen? This is Fire Truth's family, and it exposes what Hollywood is doing. The shift towards children came through Pizzagate and Epstein. Good news to hear his breakdowns. Where's part 2? This is just the one person. Wait, cathode ray tubes aren't shaped like hexagrams. When one is presented with a person, capital P, when one is presented with a person to give attention to give attention, you are empowering the icon. When an environment is presented, you give attention to that change in environment. When an idea is presented, though, you are given a tool to understand a new concept. Movies that only focus on people and events are never popular movies because they lack the moral telling of a tale that is believable enough to identify with the medium. Just deep. Take shrooms until your wife no longer has cancer. In a very real way, Spaghetti, I tried that. In a very real way, I tried that. I will tell you it didn't work. if anybody's wondering about results, it didn't work. All that happened is that I woke up one day wondering if I was Jesus. And by woke up, I mean came down. I just had a moment, a come to Jesus moment about whether I was Jesus or not. That shit was real. You have a very real choice to make. If you go wading into those waters too far, you have some very real choices to make. You will come to a precipice where the thoughts start to be, I've always described it as this, right? Whenever you come down from a psychedelic, you have to reassimilate normality, right? There's the entheogenic world. There's the psychedelic world. There's the shamanic world that you can occupy. And then there's the sort of shared reality. And when you come down from a psychedelic, you have to reassimilate all of that, like normality, right? And every time that you do psychedelics to past a certain level, right? The lower levels are just kind of fun. But like when you really go to work, every time you do that and you come back, it gets harder to come back. It does. It reestablishing normality is reintegrating all of the like, okay, so like we wear clothes. Okay, clothes are a thing. That's right. Okay, clothes. We wear clothes and clothes are a thing. They don't like you walking around naked most places. Like it's stuff like that. Like you literally just have to like reassimilate social norms and agreed upon objective reality, right? And you eventually hit a mark where you can, if you're astute enough, you're like, if I do this again, I'm probably going to end up pretty fucking weird. Like I'm not, like when you come down and you're asking yourself if you're Jesus, like I'm pretty sure I'm Jesus, right? Like Jesus is the archon, the actual like template for the multidimensional application of self, right? Jesus is not just a person or this religious figure. Jesus is actually an iconographic template for how to achieve transcendence. It's Jesus, it's the Buddha, right? It's that, right? And so when you start like, have I unlocked the universal archonic information? Have I touched the Akashic record in such a way that I have unlocked the multidimensional template? And now I am in tune with the greater beings, right? When you start having those thoughts, when you're not super high, you have some decisions to make. You have some decisions to make at that point in your life. You're like, okay, so, well, Spaghetti, what I did was I always had a ripcord policy. I always had a ripcord policy. Basically, I would keep a Xanax nearby for these sorts of just in cases, right? And so what I did is dissolve an entire Xanax under my tongue. And bring that down as fast as I possibly could using benzos. And then basically reevaluated and said, yeah, I probably shouldn't wade into that that space. That space could do me. I was close. I was close. I was real close. I 1 foot into the void. Yeah. And I still carry like Don't worry, Cody. I'll tell you. I still carry like Terrence McKenna with what he did in the jungles. The events at La Chorrera. What he did in the jungles of South America with his brother and how high they got, he maintained all the way up through the 90s. He was like, I'm pretty sure I'm still tripping. Like he was like, everything that happens today is still an effect of that trip that happened in South America. Like they fucked with their psyches to such a degree that they never really stopped tripping. Now, I'm not saying they were all seeing colors all the fucking time, that sort of thing, but like their psyche was permanently changed. They never came back fully. 5% of Terrence and his brother stayed gone just forever. And like, yeah, you can do that. Imperial. I don't even begin to where just Terrence McKenna, McKenna. Fucking do your own research. Like where to even start describing who Terrence McKenna is. I know so many people who didn't make the right choice when the moment was upon them. Some came back eventually, some didn't. Yeah, Deirdre, it's just you have a choice to make. You reach that precipice and you're like, oh shit, I think I'm Jesus. Like, okay. Like I know for a lot of you, it's probably like, it's kind of humorous and difficult to like, you're just like, I can sort of think, no, like you literally think you're Jesus. Like you think you're the Buddha. You think you have transcended. You think you've touched the eternal. You think you've unlocked the magic. Right? Like you literally are magic. You have figured out how to do it. Like it's real. It's real. You permanently impact your psyche. You really do. There's no undoing psychedelics once you do them. And the more you do them, the more it becomes you. There's more time spent in that realm. Yeah. Those who were there understand and overstand and understand. Those who haven't, there's no way for us to convey. It's just, there really is another dimension that you can experience. You can touch it. You can live it. You can breathe it and smell it and taste it. There's really another place you can go to. And plenty of us have gone to it because human experience is subjective based upon our own nervous system and our own brain's interpretations of things. That's just the reality of it. Like objective reality for humans is a very tenuous concept to start with. Brain in a vat is a viable theory, even though we're uncomfortable with even going down those routes. And if that's the reality of it for us, reality can be altered by chemistry. And so like lots of us have spent a lot of time in an alternate dimension that seems to coexist with us. Now, is that thing just a figment of our imaginations? Yeah, probably. But what the fuck does that matter? Because your imagination is everything. Like your experience is everything. So what's it matter? Friends and I used to take a shit ton of acid. That come to Jesus moment was us climbing trees in Piedmont Park at 5 a.m. in the morning, considering starting a Tree People Society and kidnapping one of the joggers to raise them as our own. Cody, I love that. I love that for you. That's amazing. What if we kidnap one of the joggers and we'll raise them as one of our own? Love that for you, Cody. That's a good one. Going to the void is fun, but finding your way back can be difficult. It is so difficult. That was always the hardest part for me. I was pretty good at tripping. I was pretty good at tripping. Like we've discussed, I think we have enough years between it. Like, I had unfettered access to fresh mushrooms. that were cultivated to be some of the highest potency mushrooms that most people have ever seen. And I had unfettered access to them for years. So, yeah. And I was a student of Sasha Alexander Shulgin. I studied at the feet of Terrence McKenna and Alan Watts, right? Like, so I had a lot of knowledge that was dangerous to start with. And I had just complete unfettered access to top end psychedelics. Cody, yeah. I can account for a, so one of the trips that still is just like absurd. I can account for 12.5 dried grams of mushrooms with me at 125 pounds, maybe. I can account for the 12.5 grams. That was weighed out, and we know that was what that weight was. The problem is I kept eating. We don't know. There's no way to know. It's probably something north of 20. We have no idea. It's like I said, it could be 15, it could be 20, it could be 25, it could be 30. I have no fucking clue, my man. But it started with 12.5 dried grams for a 125-ish pound human being. Yeah. So anybody's aware, don't ever do this. Yeah, Camille, on one go. Don't ever do this, but the general recommendation is 5 dried grams for a 145 pound man would send you to the moon. Okay? This is full ego death. You're gone. Good luck. Right? 150 pound man, 5 dried grams, you're gone. You're gone. You're gonna lick God's face. All right. So yeah, it was 12. I started with 12.5 as at 125 pounds and probably hit 20. I'm not I'm not doing the dosage math for you. God damn it. Yeah, like true hero dose stuff, Cody. I a bunch of them. That one was that one was weird. That one got weird. Yeah, I didn't like acid. Shrooms were my thing. Shrooms were my thing. I did 7 and had the most terrifyingly awesome trip. Wobbles. No one ever got filmed. No one ever got recorded. And some of this was done when we could have. That's just no. That's poor form. I would never. No. Just know a guy that lived in Eugene, went to a certain yearly festival somewhere near there that you didn't know about unless you knew about, and talked about the tractor rides in and out, the youth drinking their shroom tea all along the way. Yeah. Yeah, acid kicks the shit out of your body. It does. It's definitely not an adult's drug. Once you're past the age of 25 and if you're doing acid, then you're going to get the shit kicked out of you. Who's airing it? Who's airing it, Trav? I don't even know where. But yeah. Netflix. Yeah, get fucked. Yeah, I remember calling one of my buddies while I just have flashes. I just have flashes from that trip, right? And I remember at one point I was inverted. Like I had, okay, so the couch, like my love seat was up against a wall, and I was legs in the air. All right. So legs up on the wall. Fucking, I was just upside down, like on the back of the couch, buck ass naked. And I remember like, I'm just like weirdly touching my body, like random places, like everything, just like everything got like weirdly poked, like just everything, dick, balls, asshole, fucking arm, like just everything at one point got poked. Cause I was just like I was having a moment where I felt my body again. Like I'm just flashing between like godhood and mortality at one point. And I remember calling one of my buddies and uttering the phrase, "I sit here before you, naked both in spirit and in flesh, calling upon you." Like, you know, like, okay. I remember that so distinctly. Yeah. Yeah, it was, dude, that trip, that one fucked me hard. It really did. That was a rough one to deal with. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get the balloon dog, Kvass. Yeah, I can see the like when I'm on a sufficient dose, like I can see the holographic plenum of existence, right? Because all of creation, this is all of creation is a holographic projection from source, right? All of what we experience in the third in the higher dimensional spaces is a holographic projection off of source. And so ultimately when I come up on the correct amount of shrooms, one of the first things that happens is that I can see the plenum of existence. I can see the surface of existence now. And so, yeah, that's how I know I'm there, right? That's how I know we're headed in the right direction, is when I start seeing the holographic surface. Yeah. You just see fractals. Wobbles. Oh, wobbles. It's the film. Yeah. I look, there's a part of me that still hopes, right? It's like, man, it'd be great if it's real. It'd be great if it's real. But yeah. I remember Terrence saying that doing psychedelics is diving into a pool of water, and the pool is just black, and we don't know how far down it goes. No one's ever been able to find the bottom of it, and it's the job of every explorer, everybody who jumps into that pool, it's their job to try and touch the bottom. I took that very seriously. I was like, aye, sir. I'm going in. Fucking. Yeah, I'm pretty good at holding my breath. I used to be really good at holding my breath. Oh, well, same. I just can't bring myself to believe that there's more other than my brain is interpreting data my senses. Eating. Yeah, man, I have experienced things that other people have experienced. And it's uncomfortably unempirical. It's uncomfortably anti-scientific. It's uncomfortably woo-woo. And I try and contain. I don't try. I successfully contain that impulse. I relegate it to a place of whimsy and entertainment and whatever, right? I don't let it govern how I, interact with the world or how I would go about engaging in policy or power exchanges with other human beings. It has to be sequestered. But I experienced certain things too many times for me and others like me to write off completely. If you're smart about it, if you're wise about it, you don't put stock in it. You don't build a personality out of it. You don't count on it as empirical truths. But too many people over too many societies have experienced too many similar things while under altered states of consciousness without even shared cultural contact. There's a little too much uncomfortable overlap when you really get into like experiences of cultures that have shamanic traditions that leaves you with a sort of a taste in your mouth after you've experienced it firsthand enough times. You're like, I don't know what to tell you, man. There's some weird shit. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. But anybody who's done their fair share of tripping usually is at least will hear me out. They get it. They're like, dude, been there. Reality's a little weirder than we want it to be, I think. We want it to be a little neater than it is, and I think it may be a bit weirder than it is. But who knows? You just take the agnostic position. You don't get prescriptive about it. You don't think you know things about the nature of reality. That's a recipe for disaster, but yeah. I've done things with my consciousness that permanently impacted how I see the world. Yeah, possibly. Perturbations within the hardware space have a predictable set of outcomes, etc. Right? Total possibility. Yeah. I try not to I don't get serious about it. I don't get serious about it. But yeah, I took a swing, man. I took a swing at it, and I managed to come back from the edge before I went too far into the deep end. So I'm here to tell the tales. A lot of you never realize a lot later that the leads a bit more comfortable in. I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. Does anybody know? It hasn't even started. Hold on. I don't know his. Yeah, I don't know his. You're watching it in Discord. It hasn't started. Fair enough. We should You should move over to Discord just for bad movie night. Fucking, I mean, we're just chilling. All right, we'll be in Discord, doing bad movie night and possibly other things. Yeah, we're long over this fucking stream. Oh God. I mean, realize when, you know, the woo-woo is woo-woo, it still affects how you do important decisions. I mean, it's always going to be a factor. It's a part of me, but you try and be aware of it and you compartmentalize, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's always going to be a part of me. It's who I am. Yeah. I still do think that like the collective unconscious can be felt. Like on election day, I was like, dude, it's going to be Trump. It's like, I can feel it. It's fucking, I'm like, I can feel that it's weird. I can feel that it's like, there's a part of me that still thinks that. Like, yeah. I think we're like bound or something. I don't fucking know. Again, there's zero scientific evidence for it. It's entirely woo-woo. And it's one of the few woo-woo things I still hold on to. Yeah. Humanity has some sort of vibe check for each other. Take care of yourself. Have a good weekend and all that sort of shit. We'll be over on Discord. Sneeze. I sneezed.